Hi, this is Akemi, and welcome to today's episode of Bringing Spirituality into Life. And today I am outside, actually alone. I was expecting that I would have Donna here, but she's actually busy, and she has little urgent things to take care of. So I am here to actually share about a couple of things. So about bringing spirituality into life. And here I am actually in my front yard. And the leaves are changing. Emi, konnichiwa. Hello, hello. Yes, and this broadcast is from Japan. And Emmy, if you have any questions, please write in the chat. Where are you now? エミちゃん、今どこにいますか？チャットによかったら。Oh, she's in Hokkaido! And this wind is really strong. It's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day here. I'm trying to get away from the sun. 太陽からね、ちょっと離れようとしてるんですけれども。Yes, so I am here in Japan, in Osaka, which the wind is not so strong, but it is a little bit beautiful sky, but the wind is kind of blowing a little stronger than usual. ね、いつもよりちょっと風は強い感じですね。And then the leaves are just beautiful. 本当に葉っぱが美しいですね。And so Hokkaido, wow, that's a beautiful place to be. So Hokkaido is actually the very top of Japan, and it's the biggest island of Japan. I don't even call well, it might be an island from other people outside of Japan, but for us from in Japan, it's like another continent. で北海道ってね、他の国からしたらさ、なんか島みたいだけど、実際には日本からすると大きな陸なんですよね。Yes, thank you everyone for joining me. 皆さん参加していただきありがとうございます。And I guess I am speaking both languages today because of my friend. So I want to kind of introduce you to this today. So my husband is now kind of getting into connecting to the spiritual aspect of nature. And this is what he has right now, which is it's made from a raw tree. And this is something you carve on. これカービングするためのね、この台なんですけど、生の木から作ったものなんです。And so, by connecting nature and you in this life, actually kind of, oh, Reno, hello, hello. It's nice to say hi to you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. And then, so if we can actually connect the spiritual aspect of nature into our life, things starts to change. So, like for instance, the colors of the tree, the sky, the color of the sky, and feel the wind on your skin, and all the green that you can still see during the winter time. And then winter is not again another aspect of a way to see this spiritual aspect. So, what spiritual can also mean is that the unseen forces that we have in our life and also the virtues that we have in our life. So, all the energy forms that we take into our life and how we feel them. So, there are so many aspects in our life that we kind of think that it's normal for us, but it is actually a one way to connect to the spiritual aspect of life. See? So you can talk with the trees and you can also feel the ground. So the soil, the ground. The ground itself is again, if you can feel it like, oh look, let's see. Now I just found we have an olive tree. So we've got, you know, it's actually all the bacteria or the little insects in the soil has already eaten the the fruit, but this is an olive, yes, and you can see the pit, and it's on the ground. And so, what do you think that this pit or this seed will make it sprout and make it into that tree? So we know all the chemicals that actually work with it, right? So, and we know all the aspects of the water, and then there's the sunlight, but the energy that creates all of this is actually something that is unseen, or maybe it can be seen, but it's not really kind of, how do I say that? Like, we can feel it if we want to, but we need to kind of choose to feel it, and then we can also see it, but we also kind of have to choose to see and explore what that energy is created from or by. Yes. So, everyone, please say hi, where you're from, and welcome to my show, Bringing Spirituality into Life. And I'm sure next week we'll have a guest. And today, so all the listeners and all the people who are watching this live show, you are my guest. So if you want to say hi, if you want to join my video, please come in. I can actually invite you in, and we can actually chat a little bit about how you bring spirituality into life. And I also want to kind of introduce that I'm from Japan, and I am in Japan now in my front yard. And I think I won't be traveling for another while again because of, the COVID situation. How Japan is not expecting or allowing anyone from outside of Japan for a while until the new variant kind of comes down. But still, I can connect to you all from this live show. So I am so excited about this opportunity. So if you can say hi, where you're from, I'd be so happy to kind of chat with you and talk to you and connect with you today. So today I'm outside, actually kind of introducing how you can actually feel the spiritual energy and how you can bring the spiritual aspect of the nature into your life. So if you please, I know I'm trying to get away from the sun, and I'm on my iPad today, so I'm trying to get the right position for me. So yes, I do live in a town that has many houses, and um, I have a little yard in the front. So, for you, what is the spiritual aspect of life? Please say hi and join my conversation. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, I want to introduce you or kind of show you how trees can communicate with us and then the earth. So I'm gonna put my computer down a bit so that I can talk to you, and I hope you can hear me. Okay. So, oops, the sun is too bright here. Maybe I need to turn myself a little bit more here. There we go. Maybe that way. Is that better? Yeah, that's much better. Let me move. See if my chair works because I'm gonna sit on the ground. Okay. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So, um, you know how we in Japan we have cherry blossom trees, and then the cherry blossom trees actually kind of have group consciousness that blooms together, and it actually depends on the weather, yes, but it doesn't in a way because even though it's very warm or it's very cold, they do have a tendency to start blooming, and it actually blooms together. So it's not like, oh, one tree blooms and then the other one blooms. It's actually just the whole area blooms together, and then the whole entire cherry blossom, I guess, family, the same the same type of cherry blossoms bloom at once in a sequence. So it starts from one place of Japan, and once it does, it keeps spreading and it keeps spreading, and it just keeps going out. And then it has something to do with the temperature. So sometimes one place goes quicker than the other. If there's a shadow, of course, it changes, but still, it has this timing that blooms together. So, in a way, we can say that not depending on the weather, not depending on the 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 temperature, it does bloom together, and that's pretty cool. And one year, if it's late, it's all of them are late. Yes. So if you think about the human beings, we do kind of operate the same way. We do have a group consciousness that actually works together. So one day we use that group consciousness in a spiritual way. Let's say the full moon, or maybe because it's the full moon, or maybe the new moon, or we can actually say that it's New Year's. So we do have a group consciousness that work together. If we use that in a spiritual way, or maybe bringing that into our life, we can actually kind of use that energy, the power that is created by that group consciousness, and enhance our energy. So the cherry blossom season, it's all pink and it's beautiful, and it actually kind of works on our feelings. It makes us happy. Japanese tend to kind of expect that we can drink under this cherry blossom tree, so we have like little picnics going on. But because of the COVID situation, we couldn't. But anyways, there's a group consciousness that works with the cherry blossoms for the human beings, and it's been so long and so long that in Japan, when we see a cherry blossom tree blooming in the wrong awkward time, we sense that there might be something wrong. And it's kind of interesting, but when that happens, there is something going wrong around the planet. Or maybe it's out of sequence or unusual because we're kind of um, getting a little, uh, let's say, intense about something. So we do kind of give an effect that we influence the. Yeah, okay. So the garbage is let me move. Yeah. So, anyways, um, yeah. So, what do you have anything in your country that kind of affects the area, and also the your atmosphere, maybe like your seasons, if there's anything in your country that you can feel a group consciousness, what would that be? And if you can share that with me, that'll be awesome. So I would just wanted to share that because I wanted to share that spirituality isn't just about us. It's actually something with the whole entire planet, with the unseen forces. And also, it is connected with energy. Okay, so hi, this is Akemi, and welcome to my show. And okay, so let me walk back now to my original spot. Okay. Uh-huh. So please say hi and join my show. So yes, and so we do have like the spiritual aspect of our family. There are religious aspects. There are like common knowledge in the family. Sometimes we don't even have to say anything, and then the family understands or recognizes what we want to express. It can be from our expressions, but it also can be because it's an unseen energy or an unheard energy, or maybe it's something that is felt between the family members. That can be the spiritual aspect. It is kind of getting cold. Yeah, you're right. Yes. So, yeah. So today, let's kind of feel the winter energy. And then what's bringing us, well, this is fall, it's going to be winter, and then the new year is coming. Today is December 1st in Japan, which is the beginning of the, the last month of the year, which I have a challenge for everyone that I actually shared in my blog as well, in Japanese though. So, since we're kind of walking into the 2022 energy, I kind of challenge you all that you start sharing something that you have gratitude within this year. And bringing up the energy of the group consciousness, like I said before, may help other people to bring up their energy so that we can actually have a great ending of this year, 2021, and have a great new 2022, which numerologically it is a different energy. So things would be more mild and smoother than this year. So if you have had challenges this year, next year, things will be different and you will have more of a mild and something that you have been planning will kind of come true here, which is so awesome. Yeah. Hi guys. If you can say hi and come into the chat, and if you have any questions about bringing spirituality into life, I would be so happy to share with you. And also, if you have any way that you bring spirituality into life, please share it in the chat, and maybe you can actually come into the show and talk with me because I'm here alone today, and just kind of sitting outside, feeling the fall and walking into the winter energy, the 2021 going into the 2022 energy within the month, and sharing all the experiences that we can do together to help and change and shift the group consciousness of the planet or the area that you live in, or whatever group consciousness that you're connecting to. So yeah, it's been a challenging year for many people in some ways, and it'll be nice if we can start shifting it. So since we have a new variant of the COVID that's been all announced and everything, and people are being a little bit um, maybe afraid or scared or in fear. So if we can do something to help that, I think that'll be awesome. So my challenge for you guys is kind of share something on the social network about something you have gratitude towards to in the year 2021, or within the day, every day, or maybe once a week, so that we can kind of lift up the energy of the group consciousness of the earth or the planet or the world in a bigger scale, because I believe that each one of us actually creates the group consciousness. So if we can get together and have good intentions, if we have good intentions individually, it's going to start shifting the planet, also the family and your friends, and then the community. So it all keeps spreading out. You don't really have to do like some people think that you have to be famous or you have to go out to the world and do something in order for you to change the world. But truly, like I talked about the cherry blossoms, we do have a group consciousness that every single person is connected to. If we can start shifting our own energy, we can actually influence the whole entire group consciousness if it's a higher vibration, or if it's something that we can actually accept together. And that's another thing that I want to share, is that if you have a higher vibrational thought, which is like a virtuous thought, it can actually go. It is, see, the energy, the vibration is going to be higher, so it kind of creates this small waveform with the energy. It's not like rough. It's not something that's heavy, so it can go through walls. It can go through, um, I guess, the cell wall as well, and kind of connect and enhance each other's energy of love, or the creation energy, so that we can all connect and we can all start having this high vibration and shifting the environment from our own energy. So I think that's really cool. So everyone who's watching, please say hi. Um, kind of say where you're from in the chat, and I'll be so happy to connect with you. And we have like 9 more minutes. If you have any questions, please feel free to write any question about bringing spirituality into life in the chat. Today, we're kind of talking about the group consciousness and how we can actually kind of be an influence on it, which is just very simple. To have it, to have gratitude, to express our gratitude. Oh, and let's add some more things. So let's say we can smile, we can be helpful, we can help someone in the supermarket. Just a small, tiny thing kind of starts to lit out, and it just kind of spreads out, and then we will be able to work with the group consciousness and influence or affect it. And also, if you have a pure intent, a pure intent, like be happy, be yourself, um, it'll be a way for you to kind of connect to that energy of love, the energy of the higher vibration, maybe the divine. Um, so you can reach out to people and connect, and again, be an inspiration to really guide through this time of the period. You don't have to be like, oh, go this way and go that way. That's not what I'm talking about. The guide is more like, this is something you can do. This is the energy you can hold. And then once you do hold that energy, you expand that out into your energy field. And the people that come into your energy field or your aura field will feel that energy and say, hey, I have that energy too. Why don't I take that action? Because they kind of get that energy into their system, they'll hold the vibration, and they'll be able to express that with, again, they'll have that energy when they feel it, so they will actually start sending out that energy, and which is like a ripple energy. So in a way, it's contagious. So fear can be contagious, but again, the energy of the virtues can be contagious as well if the other person has that virtue and understands it. And of course, we are all connected in a way, and that's why it's effective. So maybe next week you can talk about how we're connected. Just simply, easily, how we're connected is, if you can look at yourself, you have cells in your body, right? And the cells in your body are made of compounds. And then if you go in deeper, they are actually made from atoms. And if you go in deeper, the atoms are actually made from, well, molecules. I'm sorry, it's not compound, it's molecules, and then it's atoms. And then the atoms are actually made from particles, actually quarks, or maybe we should say electrons, neutrons, and then it goes into the particles. And then they are made from energy. And a lot of scientists are still figuring out how that energy seeps into this world. But if you look at the atoms and then the molecules, they're not connected. Like they're not touching each other. They're floating. And if you go into the particles, they're not even touching each other either. They're floating in energy. So everything is in a way not touching each other and just being in a very dense or even in a very, the vibration is different. So that's how you can see if it's solid or if it's not solid or if it's liquid. It's all depends on how the the molecules and then the atoms and then the particles are either in a wave form or in a particle form, and even in the sunlight there are particles. So just for you to know, air is all made from oxygen, nitrogen, so it's all actually particles floating around but not touching each other. Same as me, same as the tree, and same as the computer. And think about it, I'm using Wi-Fi right now, so the Wi-Fi is not really seen, but it knows how to direct itself to the computer. So humankind already knows how to work with that wave, which kind of means that our intentions actually do have a way to reach to another person, and also our energy that vibrates out from our body. Actually, if you go into Kilton photography, you can see an energy field, which is a magnetic field around our body, and that actually is another form of waves sent out from us, which is like the Wi-Fi, but in a little different um, shape, or maybe a different way of sent. The waves are in different frequencies. So, but if you think about it, here's your homework. If you think about it, everything is made from energy. It just has a different vibration, a different frequency that's actually vibrating, and it's all made in different forms. Even though if it's alive or if it's non-organic, it's all made from that energy. And then it's the energy of the creation. So I practice theta healing, and there's a philosophy that we learn. And I actually, a lot of things were more like questions answered, or maybe my mystery being answered, or things that I have been wondering has been answered, sort of the philosophy. And you know how dogs are in distance, but they can actually feel if the host is coming home or his master is coming home? Well, there is more to what we have in on this planet that we can't really explain or see or feel, or we do feel it. If you train yourself, you will be able to feel a lot of it. And some people, if you think like you're sensitive, or they're like you hear things that you're not supposed to. You may feel things like when you go into a certain place, you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here, or oh my God, I like this place. The vibration exists, and you're actually feeling something that you have in your memory, and you're feeling that vibration and giving you a sensation. And that's again another way to bring the spiritual aspect into life, is to really focus on the senses that you have and then the sensations that you have, and really learn how you're interpreting that in your mind. And sometimes we have traumas and we're picking up that trauma, not really the actual information that it's there, but we're kind of connecting it to our trauma and thinking that it's the truth or the reality that we're in that moment. And so, oh, hi, Natalie, hi. Yes. So, oh yeah, maybe you can come and talk with me someday. I'll contact you later. So, again, so the spiritual aspect that we have, the spirituality in life that we actually can bring in, is just so much and so many. And we can actually go through many, many aspects, and which is really cool. And I'm so happy to share this with you and kind of help your life to grow, to be more abundant and more peaceful, and actually start to create your reality as well with that spiritual connection. Okay, so thank you for joining us today. I have to be honest, 30 minutes of talking alone was kind of a challenge, and this is my second time. Next time, if I know I'm going to talk alone, I'll be more prepared. But the reason why I wanted to come outside was to show you the beautiful red that I really, really, truly adore and love, and wanted to talk in front of it so that we can share the love that I have for the red color in the autumn. Okay, so see you next week in another episode of Bringing Spirituality into Life. And thank you for listening and thank you for joining. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.